Alright, here's a step-by-step instructional video how to repair the common issue that happens to the following cars, with the DVD player screen just being black or working intermittently. When this is already on the roof, you want to remove these side panels, and they just pop off with a screwdriver, and that will reveal the two screws on one side and then the two screws on the other side. So you want to go ahead and unscrew those and remove it, and then it will drop it down from the ceiling. So once it's dropped down, so mine has the wires cut, but basically they still connect to the car right there. And there's the two connections that you're going to want to disconnect. So you squeeze down on it and pull out, and there's that little squeeze tab right there. That's what you want to push down and pull out. Same thing on the other side, there's a squeeze tab on the bottom there. You just squeeze that in and it releases it. At that point you should be able to remove the wire, and that part will still be connected to the car, and it frees up the DVD player. So here's the following bolts that you want to unscrew. They're just the Phillips. And there's 10 of them that you want to unscrew. Once you do that, that releases the top metal piece. And you can go ahead and fold it over. Be careful because it is still connected with these two connections. And those are for the lights, and those just slide out gently right there. And then it's still connected with the cable, so you still don't want to yank on it. Right there is where the ribbon cable disconnects. You just want to peel that back with a nail or something, and that releases it. Then you have the screws right there that you want to unscrew, and some are for the hinges and some is for the plastic piece. They are two different sizes. So the hinge size is the finer thread, and the plastic is more of a coarse thread. So you can see right there, the coarse thread, that's for plastic. That goes here, here, and here. And the finer thread, that screws into the metal brackets, which is on the back side of that. And that's that finer thread right there on the top. So make sure those are separated, so then you can put those back in the proper places. And then go ahead and peel this plastic part back. Be mindful of that ribbon cable that slides through the hole. Alright, and now you can see the hinges that those finer threads were connected to. The plastic piece just comes right off. And then the next step is you're going to want to split this open. You can see the seam going around the edge, and it just pops open. You're going to want to be careful to not mess up all of the plastics. So I find it easier to start where the hole is with the cable, because you're going to be replacing that cable anyways, and then be gentle and try to pop and get it going, and then maybe put something in there, and then just keep working it around. I like to start here at this angle because that's the part that's going to be connected and basically hidden. A lot of this is going to be hidden, so if you can get it started here, even if you scratch it up a little bit, a lot of it is just going to be hidden when you put it back together. Okay, so you just want to keep working it around and around, making the gap bigger. There's just a bunch of tabs around it that keeps it stuck together. Here you can kind of push on the hinges and kind of wedge your screwdriver in there. And once you have it opened, it's a lot easier to take it off completely. Yep, it just pops right off right there. And then you can see the clips. They're kind of like these rounded rectangles. And then they just clip in on both sides. So there's a set of screws here as well. I believe there's 8 of them. You want to unscrew those. And then you don't really need to remove that metal piece all the way. Just you need to lift it up just enough to where you can pop that clip with your finger or a flathead screwdriver, and then you can remove the ribbon cable. Now keep in mind the connections, or the little connection part, needs to be facing down towards the motherboard. But this is where the issue is, where it bends too many times and then it breaks the connection for the ribbon cable, and that's why you're having issues. So that's why we're replacing it with a new one. And then here's the new one. You can see same size. It's actually a little bit skinnier, so that should prevent this damage from happening in the future. It's just more flexible. And that's it. You're halfway through it. So now it's time for reassembly. So make sure that the pins are facing down, and you want to slide it in. So once it's slid in, and make sure it's all the way pushed in, then you want to clip down and then test lightly. Make sure that it's locked in there. And then line up that metal piece, and then go ahead and put all the screws back in it. Yep, and then there's 8 of those right there. So and those are the ones that we are installing. Alright, with all the screws on, you're ready to put the plastic piece back on. The nice thing is, it just snaps right in. So once you line it up, then you just squeeze it together, and it will clip in. Yep, just pushing on it, making sure all of them are clipped and that it's all good. Alright, then we'll put that plastic piece on, and it just kind of rests on there until you put the other piece, which screws it all together and kind of sandwiches it together. So for the next piece, you want to get that ribbon cable through that hole, slide it in first, and then you can go ahead and gently flip it. And then line it up so the hinges and everything lines up. And then remembering that the finer thread, yep, the finer ones go into the hinges. And those are the coarser thread that go into the plastic. Alright, now you're ready to reconnect the other side to the motherboard. That's for the ribbon cable. You slide it in. And go ahead and secure that. Once it's in, then you can push down on the plastic piece to lock it in. Make sure it's locked in properly. Then you can go ahead and put the top piece back on. And remember that you got to connect those connections for the lights on the sides, and those just slide in. And there's two of them, one at each side. So there's one there, and the other one right there. And now all of the bolts here, or screws, these are all going to be the same. So go ahead and put all those back in. And that is it. That completes the repair. And then you can go ahead and connect the wires when you put it in the car, and then put those 4 screws in. Click on the plastic pieces and enjoy your new radio or new DVD player. And I would recommend to do both of them at the same time. Usually if one's going out, the other one is, if you're using it often, the other one is probably going to go as well. So we do sell single pack or a double pack, and you could buy it directly here on our website. Thank you for watching.